There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was the Billy O.T. The winds blew hard, her bow dipped down. Below me, bully boys blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She'd not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. All hands to the side harpooned and fought her when she dived down low. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. No line was cut, no whale was freed. The captain's mind was not on greed, but he belonged to the whaleman's creed. She took that ship in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. For 40 days or even more, the line went slack, then tight once more. Our boats were lost, there were only 4, and still that whale did go. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. As far as I've heard, the fight's still on. The line's not cut and the whale's not gone. The wellerman makes his regular call to encourage the captain, crew and all. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
Came up short today. Feels like I fell 1,000 times. nothing but doubt to flood my mind. 'Cause sometimes it's hard to remember why I ever started racing with my dreams. A restless December, feeling I was meant for more than I believed. I'll never surrender, rather try and fail and fall a million times. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I know as close as I am now, I will struggle, I will shout. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way. I swear I meant to do this. I'm told that love would never lie. Where my head has met my heart and they are beautifully aligned. But sometimes it's hard to remember everything I've done that's brought me to this space. I started with embers, now a raging fire is burning in its place. I'll never surrender, rather try and fail and fall a million times. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I know as close as I am now, I will struggle, I will shout. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way. I know as close as I am now, I'm on my way. Ice and flames call my name. I freeze, I burn, I blame. I love, I hate the same. It's on my face, I cannot hide from the mistake my parents made. I'm never moving on. Not made from love, a remnant of a selfish motive. Was I needed? Do I need it to go wrong? Polarized in hair and pain, pumping through my veins. Ice and flames, cold against the balance of my power. History in halves, one brain. I will break the chain. No tokori wa yobu. Moeru rame koru to boku no ai to kirai ni iru. No tokori wa yobu. Moeru rame koru to boku no ai to kirai ni iru. I love, I hate this city. Something's wrong, I feel it circling like vultures around my brain. Couldn't see the danger in your eyes. Draw me in, got me spinning now like water to a drain. You were perfect till I realized you hadn't shown your face. You sing a pretty song to drag my heart along. A siren serenade, you're ringing out your praise. Your love's a wreck and you know it's wrong. I was deaf to the ringing bells, wanting me to break, deafened by the siren's soothing lies. I can't leave, I am in too deep, been sinking for a while. Prisoner to the same thing I despise, devoted to a fake. You sing a pretty song to drag my heart along. A siren serenade, you're ringing out your praise. Your love's a wreck and you know it's wrong. It's over, same story. You lose to love and glory. It's over, same story. You lose to love and glory. You sing a pretty song to drag my heart along. A siren serenade, you're ringing out your praise. Your love's a wreck and you know it's wrong. It's over, same story. You lose to love and glory. It's over, same story. You lose to love and glory. What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let 'em burn it out. Sell 'em to the richest buyer. They wanna let go 'cause we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house.
I have found
I don't think that-
my other friends with kids also the amount of food related songs. I mean, in our dinner playlist is "I'm a Banana," "Gummy
really?
Bears."
Are kids that obsessed with food that they enjoy the songs?
Well, think of like even kids' book, like it's raining. What is it? It's cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Yeah.
Is it like so that is a book, and like It's Raining Tacos is like one of the really popular like TikTok or kids. It's raining. There's one with taquitos.
But you know, I have a
it
weird
comes from the
relationship
same vein
with
as Baby
food.
Shark.
Baby shark, baby shark,
Grandma Shark, Grandma Shark. Yeah, I have an awesome Daddy Shark shirt. It kicks ass. We can all sing together.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, but you know, I have a weird relationship with food, so that was just never a thing for me. I mean, the Wiggles were big about singing on fruit, like fruit salad.
No, I mean,
yummy.
my kids are super big. My kids don't eat any of these foods. They just like the concept of the idea. Like,
and the ditty is catchy probably as well, right?
Yes. Oh no, my child would watch the tacos fall from the sky and be very amused.
Yeah.
They would not eat the taco.
Right. Okay. As we discussed this last week that we done the taco.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. That is how. When are you ready to?
Would you eat any food?
Go.
Any food fell on the ground, you eat it?
No.
Okay. Would you eat? Here's the thing: you're with someone, and they have a bag. Say you went Wendy's, and you have a bag of fries, right? So because you ate all the food, there's just a bunch of fries left in the bottom of the bag.
Sure.
They take the bag, drop it into the trash can, so it falls past the perimeter of the trash can. The bag is still sitting there right on the top of the trash can. You wanted more fries. You eat a fry from that bag. Really?
I don't want fries.
It's still in the same exact bag it was. So you're saying when it passes the lip of the trash can, it enters a new mode of existence that is now.
Yes, it's when something touches the sink, it becomes garbage.
I see.
Like kitchen sink. If something drops in the sink, it's garbage now.
I agree with that.
Unless it's something that can be washed. But
But
if
I'm
it's
saying,
like any sort of, it's like that's it. It's garbage.
in this case with the fry, it's still in the sack of fry. You know what I mean? It's like it has touched nothing. It's still in where it was.
It knows that it's trash though,
It knows
and I
that
know
it's
that it's
trash.
trash, and it has been thrown away.
I see.
And once it's thrown away, like its essence dies.
So intention,
like any sort of flavor essence,
I
like
see.
the any sort of joy that the food is supposed to bring is gone because it is now tossed.
Intention kills, is what you're saying.
Yes, right. Well, yeah. And so just the fact that it got together with a trash can automatically destabilizes our previous relationship, and I'm fine with just letting the fries go.
That's fair.
I can't know if that's the science behind it, but
there's no legit.
Pretty sure that's what would happen.
Yeah, and I think didn't they MythBusters there was it the 2-second rule, 4-second rule, whatever the hell it is when food drops on the floor. Nothing to it. Like boom, it hits the stuff's on it. Whatever was there is on it.
Right.
No,
oh
no
yeah, it was the idea
speed.
that that was always ludicrous. It was the idea that if something fell on the floor, it takes 5 seconds for viruses and bacteria to make their way.
It's like that. That's
They're
not
like,
how it works.
oh, cool, a penny.
Right.
Like
First
a
of all,
pretzel,
yeah.
piece of popcorn.
First of all, viruses it's very rare that a virus lives on an inanimate, non-organic object for any long period of time, right?
Yes, but those are people don't know things. But if you were talking about bacteria, it's like, oh, bacteria. Now you have bacteria.
Now you have bacteria, right?
That's how bacteria is transferred.
For sure.
But remember, as we well know, much of America is not very learned.
Low information you're talking about?
Low information. There are. I try to believe that we bring high information content.
I hope so.
To high information people.
And speaking of which, we're live,
and a couple of low information people.
We are live. We are live.
You know.
So we're here. We're bringing the information, the high information and the low information. We hope.
I mean, I didn't mean anything by that. I mean, I just mean no. You guys are all high. It's fine.
We're not judging.
Anybody they would watch is
any of our viewers would be
high.
Except for that 16-year-old kid from 16-year-old kid from 2 weeks ago. He was not high information.
No, complete jackass. Well, he was.
Not
he had been completely. He had been
brainwashed by.
Yeah, he had
indoctrinated
been
into a cult.
ballyhooed or hoodwinked by all of Fox News
bamboozled.
and the minute he dropped 3-letter agencies, like talk about like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
FDA, like,
Right.
can you believe we have the FDA? Get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't, like, I
Seriously.
can't,
Like,
like, no,
how do you even have a
I'm not
serious
dying of
conversation with them?
listeria because you're a moron.
What do you think?
Like,
Right. What do you think
I-
of? But what do you think of that? Like, what do you think? This is a divergence from our topics for today. But what do you think of that? Like something like that, right? And they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, right? Like, when it's so absurd, like, does responding to it give it air and validity? But then on the flip side, if you ignore it, it's just allowed to propagate, right? And more people keep believing it. So where's that? Where do you think that balance is? Is to like, no, it's like the FDA. You're talking bullshit, and here's why. You know what I mean? It's like we should pull out of NATO. It's like I'm not going to entertain the argument that we should pull out of NATO. It's like not even the thing that should be argued, right? It's like
that is exact. I believe it's exactly that. Except my line, because so all of these things should be treated not with shock, but with mockery.
Yeah,
and
that's
just
fair.
outright, like, that's why the weird thing works well, because it bothers
right.
them. Because it's not like, oh, you guys are
These are fucking
crazy
weird. Right.
and like not serious people,
Right.
and you're just like, so I don't like, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. That's why it was like they made memes and saw this stuff of it, because it was so
'Cause it's
silly
so
and it's like the
stupid.
whole world saw that. So it's like there's an insane guy, and so unfortunately we have a populace that 47% of them are blind to the fact that this orange Cheeto fucking rapist criminal could actually like win a presidential election. Like, I mean, universally, people that I work with, I mean, are just from, it doesn't matter what country they are from or society, they're like, they don't understand how this is possible.
Right.
Because all of their ideas of like, America is so great, they're like, if this is allowed, you guys are a failed country.
Right. You're on the wrong path.
And then like really be like this is really broken. Like if he can run and that's a possibility, I don't feel safe here. Like,
by the way,
literally,
I think right. You said 47. I think 35. I think the cult consists of 35%, and the extra 12%.
Oh, yeah.
And the extra 12% are just ignorant people who don't know any better and say, "Oh yeah, he's saying whatever, fine, whatever, right?" And or counterculture or whatever, right? I think that's a breakdown.
Right. Who are just vote red or whatever.
Yeah, for whatever.
But yeah, no, his base is like 30% or something. The people that go home from his rallies early, those people.
Exactly. And yawning and falling asleep in the audience.
Yes.
So we should get to our first question because people need us.
Yes, we
should get
Right.
So
that was you that diverged. I just want to have that
did.
on record.
It was. I thought it was. All right,
did that.
It is my fault. I do blame myself. I also blame myself for us starting late because I was yammering with you about something and then we meandered.
Yeah.
But as we
you have a lot to apologize for.
Yes. I also have a lot of information to share. So.
All right, let's do it.
True, but I do have a lot to apologize for. Okay. Nick from Costa Mesa, California. I don't think I've been to Costa Mesa, but I'm in college. There's this cute girl who lives in my apartment building off campus. Seen her around, but never talked to her until yesterday. For my class, I asked for her number, and she gave me her phone to put in my contact information. I was so happy with the interaction, I didn't even realize what happened at first. I later thought about when I should text her, only to realize that she has my number, not the other way around. Did I get tricked by female ninja magic into giving her my number so I couldn't text her? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, right?
Yes. Well, okay. No, I wouldn't. I would not. I would not put it quite like that.
All right.
While she may very well possess ninja magic that she attained on a mountaintop temple in Nepal,
a wise sage.
This that is not what happened here. This was a very this was a woman protecting herself. This was a very common technique, in that it's not trickery at all. It's a safety issue. So when a guy, rather than,
but that's the ninja magic in my opinion. That's the ninja magic.
But it
especially instinctively.
Yeah, but
good for her.
But would I disagree with the word trick.
I see.
Because it's not like she didn't it's like, yeah, if you feel tricked, then I'm glad. Then fuck you.
Mission
because
accomplished.
then you're probably not the guy for her,
Yeah.
because if she's interested, that then gives her the agency to make the decision, and she doesn't have some random guy able to harass her.
Absolutely. And I highly recommend.
So Nick, this was just standard procedure, and if this kind of thing bothers you that she was doing that, I don't know, check your toxic privilege. I don't know.
I could see, of course, I fully approve of this woman's process. I think that's absolutely the way to do it. But the potential, I'm trying to find the angle where it could be called a trick, and I think the sense is that That
Yeah, I mean, maybe he would feel
in acknowledging giving the number, you've signified yes, there's interest, and then you've done basically the fuck you, I'm not going to text you. You know what I mean? So I could see that Stinks angle.
Well,
I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's the
right. No, it depends. Yeah, it depends on the charitable way you look at it. Because yeah, at first glance, it's kind of like, oh, she tricked me into like not giving me her number.
Yeah.
But it was more of like, no, dude, she was giving you the opportunity to make an impression that then she could make the decision of whether she wanted to get to know you.
Correct.
So what you should have done is really roll with that and not been like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, see you later.
And again, you go, girlfriend. That was the way to do it. So we approved.
Yeah.
Nick's potential date, who he'll probably never date.
Yeah.
But you're probably never. He's probably never going to hear from her.
Yeah, you will never hear from this girl.
Yeah, she's not
Nick, I'm sorry.
Nick, move on, man.
If you
other
you
fish
shouldn't have written this.
There's other fish in the sea.
That's what happened. But now that this is out to millions and millions of people, you know, don't call Nick back.
Absolutely.
Nick wrote to us thinking you tricked him, and that wasn't cool. I don't know what your name is, but you know, I nailed it.
All right, moving on from Nick. Next one is from Elliot from Nelphi, Utah, or Nelphi. Is it Nelphi or Nephi? Probably.
Oh Christ, Nephi.
You've been in Nephi. Oh, you've been in Nephi, haven't you?
Nephi. Nephi.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, go ahead.
I think I remember you telling me about it. Yeah, Nephi. Yeah. Elliot says, "Hey guys, I recently turned 18 in August. I need advice. I live with a very controlling and toxic family. I make around. I make back to Nephi, Utah. I live with a controlling, toxic family. I make about $1,200 a month. I need to move at some point soon before I lose my mind. I plan to either find a cheap place or get a place of roommates. I need to know how that would work. Could I rent at a hotel or motel monthly? Is that a thing? What do I do first?" Wow, Elliot's really eager to get out. So there are options, Elliot. Okay. So you came to the right place. Absolutely.
Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ, Elliot. Like, of all places, Nephi, Utah.
Yeah.
Like Nephi, he's named after one of those crazy imbeciles that the Mormons like to specifically call out as prophets.
And
it's
one of the accolades of Joseph Smith or something.
Yes, and yes, in the Book of Mormon. So what I can say
that's going on Mormons.
Our standard. Okay, seriously. Advice applies. Get the fuck out of Utah.
Yeah,
but I see that you're already making that decision. You've already basically are making the first step, and so you don't necessarily have to get out of Utah, but you gotta get out of this house. Okay,
yes,
so yeah, that's step one, because maybe you can't go too far. I think the problem, or I think the key issue is going to be financing. So if you have $1,200 a month, like if you're in Nephi, unfortunately, that isn't like enough to get an apartment or something in a place like Nephi. But if you go
roommates,
and it's still fully fucking crazy Mormon, but if you go like 2 hours south to Ogden, and Ogden's got a bunch of ski resorts and other shit, and an apartment in Ogden, Utah, is like about $450 a month. And so if you're making $1,200, that puts you at roughly over the 30%. But it's not great.
Right. But he might
find some roommates.
But this $1,200 he might need to be in a job, right? He might not be able to leave, or at least far from it.
Well, and then that's the thing. So it's like in terms of like it's moving out, he's not going to be able to live in Nephi on his own at the cost of living at Nephi, because you got to keep the city for the profit.
Roommates.
But it's but it's going to be really, really hard not to find Mormon roommates that are gonna. But
they're not gonna. I mean, roommates not gonna control your life like a family member.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Better off.
Yeah, like actually, and
or he might find other people just like him.
That's actually
get the fuck out of their parents' house.
If you go down to, okay, this is what you do. Like Snow Basin, Powder Mountain, those places, first of all, lots of hot ladies, just saying, at the ski resorts, and they need a lot of help, and like there is actually good work at some of those places. Like there's a lot of like manual work and stuff, and like having to go up and down the mountain with the snow machines and all that stuff. But those are actually like awesome winter jobs to get. So that is a possibility. And then you can, hang out and find yourself a sugar mama, and ultimately get the fuck out of Utah, which is always the goal.
Yeah, for those of you new to the program, I mean, we here at OK Seriously, we're pretty down on religion in general, but Mormonism has a particular place in our hearts.
It has a particular place away from our hearts. It's
that's kind of what I meant.
It's a dark little black heart with a little Joseph Smith picture,
Yes.
and then it's got a wooden submarine just jammed,
wooden
stuck
Jewish
into it.
Jewish wooden submarine.
No. They well,
They were
yeah,
Jews.
Yeah, Joseph. No, Joseph Smith had some things to say about the Jews. He did.
I know.
He also had some things to say about African Americans,
Right.
and others.
And but these Jews were in theory from Africa that built the wooden submarine and sailed it to North America.
And they were, as it says in the Book of Mormon, they were tight as a dish, and that is how they stayed. That is literally the terminology.
I
tight
wonder
as a
if something
dish.
was lost in
and
the translation of the sacred plates.
It has
on that
something
one.
that it has always puzzled me from, because the Book of Mormon is a hilarious read, and like reading it, like being like, are you serious? Like it's very difficult if you were not drenched in the lunacy from the cradle.
Yes.
There is no, like, I cannot conceive of an adult human being converting to Mormonism. Like someone who has been raised outside of the magical underwear and then becomes in with the magical underwear. Like, I don't, no way.
It's
I mean,
really
I guess
hard.
it's possible. I mean, cults. I mean, yeah. I mean, people get actually fucking Scientology.
Yeah, this
I mean,
is us.
now we know
Scientology,
Xenu.
Mormonism, Islam, and Christianity are sort of intermixed here, depending on the sects. So subsects thereof, and then Judaism is the one that's the most sane of all of them, which isn't saying a lot. But...
It's Judaism is also the least. It wants to mind its own business in a lot of ways. Like it's kind of like, let us do our thing. Well, in a way, but it's more of like, leave us. There's not the evangelism or the like, we want to make all of these laws and like there. I mean, there's maybe a little bit of that, but it's not like. It's more of like, yes, we want to, it can be conservative at home, but like traditionally, it's not like, oh, but you have to do things our way. It's more of like, which automatically just puts them right at the, in terms of the threat level, real low. Because they're like, hey, you do your thing.
And all of it has, but not to the same extent as the other ones. I mean, it's not even close.
Right. Absolutely. And it's just...
Utah. Elliot, man.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Mormonism is just the LDS church is just kind of like extra evil because of the gay conversion therapy and forced marriage. Yes, exactly. Forced birth,
forced polygamy.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
those
fun.
things.
Anyone seen Big Love? Come on. So yeah, Elliot. As always, I don't think we really need to say this to anybody. If you live in Utah, leave. Please leave Utah.
Visit to ski.
And if you're
Mormon, that's what you like to do.
What are you doing here?
Then don't live there. Well, if you're Mormon,
right?
Mormons.
If you're Mormon, I have no idea what the fuck you're doing here.
You're thinking
I would encourage you to stop being stupid. And like look at the book. I don't know, like wooden submarines. And come on,
I know,
guys. He looked in a hat. It says in the
underwear.
book that he had to look in a hat that was dark to read the plates. It was
and there
he was a con artist that was in jail, literally right before.
Yes.
Or
it's
con art.
Like how much writing needs to be on the wall for that one? You know what I mean? It's like beyond.
Well, apparently you can have an entire religion literally invented by a science fiction author, a famous science fiction author who doesn't really write good science fiction, that then says, okay, now it's real.
Right. And people say, sounds great.
And
I'll be part of this.
Yeah, on this particular thing, this is all real.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's America, and that's how it works now. So maybe that's how it's always worked. Because like we've always been like.
I remember those commercials, dude, from when we were kids. They were on TV, like network TV, Dianetics.
Oh my god!
They were on TV, like network TV, advertising for Dianetics, teaching to Scientology.
Dianetics, because in Scientology, how they fleece you with all those courses and stuff.
Sure.
I remember twice. Dianetics, which is a very large paperback book.
Yes.
The whole book appeared in our mailbox. They just put a copy in everyone's fucking mailbox in order to get you to go. So like, I remember twice, because I remember my mom coming in being like, what is this? Where'd you? Like, it was in the mailbox again with this, because she had thrown out the other one, and I was like, where do we get another copy of Dianetics? She's like, it came in the mail again. I'm like, they're just sending complete whole copy. Yes. To them,
madness,
because it's a lifetime. If you can sucker someone into that, you basically have a person. You have literally, yeah. If you can get one out of 1,000,
nope. Totally worth it.
Yeah. I mean,
but back to Elliot, like he's asking about like rental options and stuff, and you can do like long-term business rental hotels, right? They have those. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're economical, but
they are not.
Right.
They absolutely have hotels that you can rent. However, the amount that you would spend on delousing shampoo would kind of
offset
would have to be adjusted and offset any sort of gain that you would get, because any hotel that within a modest budget that rents by the month is you're not going to be alone there. You're going to have some critters, and if you want to avoid that, I would say you get a place, have roommates, because that if
isn't there,
it's a steady thing. It's rent is a lot cheaper because it's steady income for the owner, and not
there's a site called Roommate Match. Find roommates. Roomster. So here are the ones: roommatch.com, roomster.com. Reddit is a fine place to find places as well. If you're on social media, there's Facebook groups for your local geography where you could find roommates.
True.
Put out feelers for all those options. You probably need, for where you live, and I would say he's got 2 roommates plus himself, and he could probably find a decent place, right, for $500 of his money. $500 split 3 ways. What do you think? Something for $1,500?
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely. That he can probably do in in a town like if you could find a 3-bedroom near the college, perhaps.
Yep.
But yeah, you do have options, and the good thing is here is that you're of age. There's nothing that
can stop you.
You cannot be forced to stay in the house. You are an adult. You are but I can see that while you're in that house, there's going to be certain things that they're going to expect you to do, and it's hard to get out of. So you got to get out of there.
Yeah, leave your sex toys out too. We gave that advice.
No, well, the sex toys, it's not even leaving them out. It's when your parents install a camera in your room, what you have to do is use them hard, using hard eye contact at all times. Yes. Look what I'm doing. Yeah. Mom. Exactly. You don't. It doesn't work with the pop stopper, man. It can't. I'm telling you. The technology of the pop stopper prevents your fart noise from carrying over.
Oh, does it?
The internet.
Damn it! I needed to.
Not. It just.
I'll lift it.
No.
There it was.
I hear nothing. Okay. Okay.
Just blocking it out.
Anyway, the pop stopper is making fun of you right now.
I know it is. It's mocking me. Anyway, Elliot, those are your best options. So right. So about renting and stuff like that, like hotel or motel. Yes, there are options, but they're either too sleazy that you wouldn't want to live there, to Green Pants' point, or they're geared towards like business travelers and are way too expensive. Wouldn't make it economically feasible for you.
Right.
So we highly recommend going the social media route of some of these sites we just mentioned. Find probably 2 roommates, 3 if you have to, and get a place. Don't shoot for anything more than $500 a month based on your income, and you're going to be paying way too much based on what you're making. There you go.
And I don't know if you're sort of locked into that job, but it's good that you have a base to start with, and see if you can kind of leap pad off of that to bigger and better things.
Oh, for sure.
And literally everything outside of Nephi is better. So the first step, day 1, bam, you're out of that house of horrors. Day 2, bam, you're not in Nephi anymore. Day 3, you might not even be in Utah.
A whole new
It could happen.
world.
It could happen. So let's just not say any prayers, just actually do things, and it can happen.
No Mormon prayers.
Yeah, just no. How about just actually actions are good.
The ghost of Joseph Smith
Prayers
find you.
are annoying.
It's still, but I can't let go of the. So good luck, Elliot. Hopefully that's good advice for you. I got a quick thing. There was a podcaster I used to watch, and he would do live streams as well, and he'd just chat with his audience and stuff like that. And he lives in Utah, and when one viewer asked us, oh, he mentioned something about church. I'm like, oh, what church? And he's like, oh yeah, LDS. Kind of like casually dropping it, right? And I'm like,
Latter-day Saints,
Mormon,
right?
And
no,
I'm like,
because they don't want them to use the term
and
anymore,
right? And he's normalizing it. He's making it seem like I just go to a regular church. No, you don't.
Right?
You don't go to a regular
done
church.
Very specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah. The LDS,
I'm
Episcopalian.
just LDS. We're LDS. Like,
yeah, you know,
underwear, submarines.
yeah, exactly.
Golden plates and a
I mean,
hat.
like if you're just going with just like straight Christianity, like Baptist,
Right.
are just crazy.
Right.
But
But
in terms of
at least
just
I
like
respect that.
not even,
It's like...
but Mormonism is almost not really Christianity. Like,
It's not.
They say it's Christianity. It's not. It's just
not.
it's not. I'm sorry.
I
Like,
mean,
there's just too much. There's a finite amount of people that are allowed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah, no,
But
yeah,
there's
that's Jehovah's Witnesses.
the way heaven works is a very complicated thing with the baptisms after death and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's
very
crazy.
confusing.
Anyway, Elliot, good luck and get the hell out of there. I mean, seriously, don't be subject to. And kudos to you, actually, Elliot. Last thing, for even recognizing that you're in a crazy situation. You're in a bad situation. You're 18, very mature for your age. You know you gotta get the fuck out.
19, but
Get the fuck out. I said 18.
You saying that? Oh,
18, 18. Yeah, 18.
Oh, all right. Well, you'll soon be 19.
Soon be 19 within a year, we hope.
perhaps today. I don't know.
Anyway, all right, next question comes from Denise from Freeport, Illinois. Denise says, today my grandmother took me out to lunch and told me that she and my grandfather were going to pay off my student debt, but that I couldn't tell anyone. I have been sick to my stomach ever since. She wants me to keep quiet about it because she doesn't want animosity between my brother and I. He doesn't have any student debt. I think if they want to pay my student debt, they'll need to match it with my brother to help kickstart buying some property or something. What should I do if my grandparents don't agree to that? Says Denise. We're going to different opinions on this, I could already tell.
Denise, meet me over here at camera 2.
Here it comes.
What the fuck are you doing? Take the money. You take the money. If someone is offering to pay off your student debt, you take the money. Let them. To demand that your brother receives some sort of like reciprocal payment, especially if he doesn't have any student debt, that he just is owed money in some sort of like spirit of economical fairness, is an absolute kick in their geriatric genitals. Okay? Take the money. Like, and this is ridiculous. Like, but I'm sorry, Vanguard. Do you have another opinion?
And I do, and I knew that would be your opinion for what to start. But it's unfortunately it's not that straightforward, right? 'Cause she's got to live with the rest of her life with this knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, if her brother's struggling someday, anything, right? She doesn't want her parents to know. And I know why the grandparents are thinking, what their angle they're coming from, right? It's like, oh, you're the one that's she didn't say he didn't go to college. She said he didn't have student debt. So making a tough call on that one. But maybe they're like approving of her choices more. You know what I mean? She's
no. Didn't he say he doesn't have any student debt?
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean he didn't go to college. He might have just paid off his debt or went out scholarship or something,
sure.
right?
But there is not a reciprocal thing. Like they are doing, because like student debt is a vicious, predatory cycle.
Agreed.
Of like and while I understand that that there is risk of that animosity, the benefit to you personally and your future success in life of having that college debt paid off and having that slate wiped away, if you have an opportunity to do that is not criminal, take it.
I agree.
Because
there's merit to that argument.
Yeah. That's, especially if because otherwise it's like out.
I have a solution.
If you demand that, then what will end up happening is that will just make lending institutions tens of thousands of extra dollars.
Yes.
Because
it's true.
Because you wanted to make sure that your brother got treated fairly.
Yeah.
That is the net result of what would happen.
Here's my advice. I'm on the fence now. Here's my advice. It's gonna be take the money, and then it's gonna be, since you're not saddled with that monthly pay it forward. So next time your brother needs help, help him. Family member needs help them. You know what I mean? It's like
you do that anyway.
Be more open to. Yeah, but if you physically can't because you can't meet your loan payments, you know what I mean? It's like
right. But now you can because you don't have student debt.
Right. So be mindful of that.
But how'd you get that paid off? I don't know.
Forward.
I'm not telling
anybody. I'm telling anybody, right? My financial affairs are my private thing, right? Yeah. No, all right, fine.
It just seems like as if you're with grandparents, like if they, especially with this, because it's not like, hey, I want to go pay for your wedding or something. Like I definitely feel very differently if it was not, but it's specifically student loan debt, which is
horrendous
cancer
to have. I know.
That we have that that requires, especially with schools charging up to $100,000 a year now, and so people it used to be like only like doctors and lawyers had student debt. Like that was the thing. Like it was only like the high, like the professionals who had to go to school for like 9-10 years were like, yeah, I had debt because I had to go to law school. Now you get debt going just anything. I mean, community college, you got debt. It's like
I know.
Yeah.
And the interest rates are absurd, and the payment terms are absurd. All right.
But
yeah, no, I've been converted.
Oh, you remember, it does cost money to be poor.
It does.
If you're poor, it does cost money.
Oh, it's going to cost you. You can't just walk around.
America
and
does
be
not
poor.
like poor people.
No.
I don't know if you know this. America does not like the poors.
You're not allowed.
Not a fan of the poors.
And
if you're poor outside,
poor.
Hey, get out of there because you're being poor in front of people, and they don't like
want
it.
to see that.
Feel icky.
No one wants to see that.
Poor. Who wants to see the poors?
Poor.
So go somewhere, just not there, where I can see you. Find something. Work it out. Bootstraps.
Yeah. All right. I got to go. Denise, take the money, but pay it forward.
Thank you. All right.
You talk me into it. There we go. All right. What's question 4 here? Oops.
Question 4.
Question 4. Lester from Arlington, Virginia. My wife was diagnosed with preeclampsia and as a result is being induced 3 weeks early. Complicates more than just the birth. Induction date is just 3 days before my brother's wedding, where I was asked to be the best man. Still, I'm not sure whether to proceed with coming to the wedding. I have no idea what to expect the first few days of having a newborn, especially given my wife's potential medical implications. What should I do?
Dude.
What? He's clearly got to go to his brother's wedding. JK.
Just saying those words out loud is actually grounds for divorce. The
Kidding.
fact, like, why are you asking us? Like, you be with your wife and the child that you helped create, especially if she's got preeclampsia, so it already has a condition which is, making everything, more challenging, and she's gonna be induced. Yeah, no, don't make any plans. Your brother will understand. If he doesn't understand, fuck him. And he probably shouldn't have kids. If he's like, no, man, we got a party at my wedding with my bro.
Right. What? How about...
I made a person.
Right.
I have to take care of that.
Right. I injected my seed into this woman who let me do it somehow, and now we have a person to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that is like a really leftist or progressive thought, but I don't know. Like, to me,
the person. I
seems...
like. Here's the only caveat I would assign. So if the wedding isn't far, so not if you don't have to fly anywhere, right?
Okay.
If you drive there, do the ceremony, and leave. So you're staying next to your brother for the moment, right? So you're gone for 4 or 5 hours, right? Maybe.
Right. Yeah. So this is definitely location dependent and specific. But as a general rule, if you have to, if the event, like, one of his friends can step in to be the best man, and he can say, hey, my brother, you can freaking bring you at the reception, fucking have the DJ put you on the freaking screen on Zoom or something. Whatever. There's so many things that you could absolutely do to be like, hey, my brother wants to be here, and
there he is. And then
there he is.
Hey guys, hope you're having fun. Sorry I couldn't make it. Whole thing. Very sweet moment, actually, and memorable.
Little Webster holding him up there. You know.
But if it's not far, like I said, maybe you make the ceremony. So you're staying next to your brother for that moment, and then take off. Do not stay. You'll be tempted to stay. Don't. If you do that, do not hook up with any of the bridesmaids or form.
Right. That's
probably a ticket. That's probably a ticket to hell action, right? At that point, your wife and someone's preeclampsia with the complicated birth. You go off and get drunk and hook up at the wedding.
Yeah, if karma was a thing, it would be a pretty heavy boulder that you would be stuck under and crushed forever. Yeah, I agree with the analogy.
Yeah,
or the metaphor.
Anyway, so that's the thing, Lester. So we gave you the suggestions, right? If the ceremony is an option, do that. If not, come up with a remote thing that you can do where you could still be part of the day. Wish your brother well. Brother should understand.
Exactly.
This is your kid, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially with and you should want to be there. Like, you'll want, because if
see him being torn, if him and the brother are close, I could see him at least being like having the thought, saying, "Oh my god, my brother's wedding." You know what I mean?
Oh no, absolutely. What I am saying is that whatever you're thinking now, where it's like I'm torn between the decision, when it's happening, wherever you are, you're gonna want to be there. Right. So if you're at the wedding and something goes wrong, you're gonna be like, "Why am I here?"
My wife?
And you are going to lose your mind.
Yes.
So
yes,
save yourself from that and be available in case there's anything, because that's your job. You were a partner in this.
Right.
This is a ongoing situation that you need to be a part of.
Absolutely.
You've got 18 years left, so get comfortable.
Sign up for the long haul, my friend. All right, Lester. Good luck. I hope hope your wife is well and your baby.
Absolutely.
Ends up healthy.
And preeclampsia is
no joke.
Perfectly okay if you, but it's no joke. But as long as if you,
of course,
when managed, you're good to go. Of course. But you got to take it seriously. So.
Totally. Yeah. All right. Good luck, Lester. All right. Our last question for the day.
Whoever never sees this.
Matt from Tacoma, Washington. I love Tacoma. I've been there several times. Great place. I have a weird question. I'm a straight male. My best friend is a gay female. Okay. We've been friends for decades, but just discovered we both have a crush on the same person. The person is bisexual, so it could go either way. What should I do? I have a clear answer here.
Yeah, you kind of went the really long way around there, Matt, to just ask us if you can ask for a three-way. Yes, the answer is a three-way. That is the official okay seriously response to this. You have the exact ingredients for a magical time.
Yeah. I don't know how it could be more lined up. I mean, that's what you need to do. Right? So
that is that is so in terms of, and I think not only do I think that it's like that's a win for that's a win-win-win. I mean, everybody, and with that way, less hard choices need to be made. There's I think it just in the spirit of love and friendship, you guys all coming together, or just maybe her first and then you.
You can pre-decide on a right. You could decide on a no with your friend a no penetration rule.
Right.
Come up with guidelines. Cool.
Or
no digits, no penis in your bits.
I mean,
light kissing,
this is
maybe.
Of course, because here at OK Seriously, we have to assume that everyone in the situation is down to fuck. So
DTF.
If there's a situation where the person's like, I'm bisexual, but I don't like this particular person, well, now you've got a problem. But then, so now, you can let the, really, it's obviously going to be up to that person to decide. But if you can get them to decide on a three-way, everybody wins. So that is clearly a direction you need to go. I think you asked us just so you could hear it said.
You wanted validation. That's fine.
But yes,
we exist for that as well.
Validated.
I mean, that's the purpose.
Go have your three-way.
Yeah.
Tacoma, Washington, as Vanguard said, it's a lovely place.
Great place.
You'll have a lovely three-way. I'm sure it'll be filled with majestic waterfalls and
Space Needle, whole thing.
Yep, whole thing.
Oh god.
Real close to bugging out territory in British Columbia. Yeah.
Bugging out territory.
Yeah, you got to get over the border. You're close.
Right. All right. It is time for speed round.
And you're up.
Yeah, you're definitely up. It is my turn for sure.
Right.
You knocked it out of the park last week, I must say.
I knock it out of the park every week. I don't know.
You really I gotta really up my speed round game. I'm kind of
speed round is really kind of subjective, really, but but subjectively, I've objectively crushed it.
You do. You have a speed round. All right. So for those not familiar, for our viewers at home, we're going to do 5 rapid fire questions. Right. It's my turn this week, so Green Pants is going to hit him at me. I'm going to answer them as quickly as I can within the 60 seconds, and then we'll do a brief unpack after. And I will start the timer as soon as Green Pants finishes reading the first question.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. What's the weirdest thing you've given someone as a gift?
Oh, Jesus. Probably a cross, actually.
Okay. What is the correct proportion of icing to cake in an ideal cupcake?
36.7%.
3 to 1?
Yeah.
Something like that? Okay. How would you show that you were from the future if you were transported 200 years into the past with no clothing or anything else?
That's great. I would invent a computer right in front of them. I would build a computational machine.
The materials available. Okay.
Yes.
What's a conspiracy theory that you secretly believe might be true?
The big scene from Star Wars. I swear I saw it in the theater. Actually, we'll get back to that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And who is your number one all-time celebrity crush?
Oh, Summer Glau.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Good.
Oh my God, that was an excellent choice.
Oh, Summer, if you're watching this,
yeah, I don't. Hopefully, Mrs. Vanguard, you're not watching this.
Oh, Mrs. Vanguard. Wait, Mrs. Vanguard.
Actually, you really should be cool with Summer Glau. She shows up at your door. You just got to be like, yeah.
We have to. She has to be on the short list. I mean,
yeah. I mean, that's.
But in case you're not okay with it, turn down your sound at this moment. Okay, Summer Glau. All right, Mrs. Vanguard, please turn your sound back up. We're good. Okay, great.
Natalie Portman, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Second choice. Natalie Portman, second choice. So my type.
Back in that, Kirsten Dunst, I remember really, but
so
many.
Not anymore.
No. I'm saying, I'm thinking of
Kirsten,
like one of our previous rates was like Phoebe Cates, back in the in the day from the 80s and stuff.
Best times.
But the Summer Glau. That's an excellent one.
Always been on my list. So such a beautiful woman. Oh my God.
Anna Taylor-Joy, I find to be. She was in the
King her up.
The show about chess.
The Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit. Yeah, she was the.
Oh, I saw that show. Oh yeah. She's a pretty girl. Yeah.
Yeah. And she just has very kind of like large eyes that are kind of like it's really captivating.
Such a sucker for the big eyes.
She's like that's why anime sells.
Those
eyes
are
just like big jaw, giant eyes. Yeah.
It's like, can you help me, please, sir? Yes, I can. it's kind of what it's the thing.
So that I would.
So Natalie Portman was your number one. Then.
Yes.
Okay.
I would say Natalie Portman. But yeah, certain like Jennifer Garner at one point. I remember when I was just I was really into Alias at one point. That was 25 years ago. But yeah, I would go with Natalie Portman. Would be like if I had one single answer.
For sure.
Like, that's
she's my number two. I would threesome her with you.
Oh, that's nice.
I would do that for you. I would do that for you. I think she would.
Sure.
Because I think she would because
Natalie, I didn't see this coming, but if you,
we would.
Just DM me.
We're both very attentive lovers.
Very.
Yeah. Yes. So you
big requests.
Thoroughly enjoy yourself, guaranteed.
I have no problem with a shopping list beforehand of things needed.
Absolutely.
All good.
Absolutely.
I can get to Target, Home Depot, whatever you need.
Right. Who was I going to say? There was someone recently who. Emma Stone. Just because she's crazy. She's a little wacky.
Well, because she's
I love the wacky. And she's got the look, and she's wacky.
I think she had to embrace the wackiness once they cast her as Asian. Basically she was cast as Asian right about the time that
it became not okay to cross cast.
It was so close, and it was like it was within like a 5-year period.
She snuck in under the wire.
It would never be made now, and she's very embarrassed about it, but she's very open about it. She's like, yeah, I played an Asian person.
Yeah.
That's not great.
Right. Yeah.
Because do I look Asian at all? So she's made fun of it on Saturday Night Live and stuff. And but yeah, she plays great, really she's great in short series where she can play like a really intense manic character or Stone, excellent.
Great. All right. What else we got? Conspiracy.
Okay, if you 200 years in the past, you're going to build a computational machine.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, it is 1824.
Yeah, Charles Babbage did it with similar materials. I would do something similar. Analytic engine. I know how to build an analytic engine.
Do you?
Yeah.
And I would just show them my teeth. I'd be like, here, count them.
Oh, here's the.
Ever seen anything like this? Well, I think some of it would be like, I think honestly, it very much depends on how quickly that you need to convince people. Because first thing, find some clothes.
It would take me a while to build the computer. That's true. I would need to find clothes. That's right.
Right. That's right. Yes, you find the clothes, and then you've got to fit. But then, I would assume first you would have to settle in the area. You'd have to get some clothes. You'd have to blend in.
I would hope I would not get smallpox or bubonic plague.
Right. I mean, you would.
I would hope not.
We would both die automatically. If this is in a real life scenario, we would literally appear and die. Like when you appear in a game and you just get sniped, auto fragged.
Yeah,
boom,
you get spawn camping is what that's called. Spawn camping.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we would be spawn camped. It would be like, here's the hypothetical. Oh, they're dead. Oh my god, already. Oh, they opened the box. Schrodinger's cat's dead.
Yeah. So teeth. That's a good one. Because look. Yeah. Our teeth are pretty good.
if you had a few months, if let's say you only had a year, you could just do really, really accurate predictions.
Oh, that's true too.
Like in 1825, the British stock market crashed.
Yes.
So if you got there in 1824, you can be like,
right,
next year, the stock market's going to crash, and the English are going to invade Burma and capture Rangoon with no resistance at all.
Sure.
That will happen next year.
But also,
if you told people that,
yes,
and that could,
and you would
reasonably
not be burned as a witch, because that's the thing that happened back then too.
Well, this is why I'm thinking specifically 200 years. If it was 500 years,
then definitely, you'd be
burned as witch. You're drowned with a stone around your neck. Totally.
Right. What did Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court do? He predicted the eclipse, right? Was one thing he did, and
yeah, I mean, there's certain things, but even that is still like the Mayans had figured that shit out already,
Right.
So it would have to be real. To me, I think it would have to be really specific stuff. And if you couldn't come back with an iPhone or something, you could just be like, yeah, this technology doesn't exist. Or you could tell them, because 1824 was the year that that was the first year that the Congressional Congress was still nominating candidates, and I think it was this is when John Quincy Adams became president, even though Andrew Jackson received more votes.
And people, the aristocracy, and in the early United States there was an aristocracy, don't delude yourselves otherwise, right? Freaked out about Andrew Jackson because he was a president. He was one of the people, you know what I mean? And they
totally
they lost
and they were like, no, John Quincy Adams, our guy.
Yeah,
we want John Adams, his son.
But Jackson,
that guy. Remember he founded the country?
Right.
That guy.
But Jackson won the following term.
4 years later.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Gives a big FU to the bourgeois there.
Yeah.
Bourgeois.
Andrew Jackson, horrible person.
Oh, totally.
Terrible historian.
Absolutely.
Historic villain. Absolute evil fucking monster.
But he broke a ceiling.
Andrew Jackson.
He did break a ceiling and open the door for more common man to be able to run for high office. Credit him that.
I guess he allowed deplorables to enter our halls of although I'm sure plenty of the aristocracy were deplorable as well. They just were able to hide it.
They had the money.
Andrew Jackson was just openly deplorable.
But your question didn't really ask what the goal was here. It didn't say it said the question is what
is it profit?
Right. If you profit, if you profit, you keep your damn mouth shut and you bet on stuff, right? That's profiting. But if you want to prove it, then you got to do something public.
Right. So yeah, I mean, because if you
build an analytical engine,
but that wouldn't necessarily mean you were from the future. It just means you're really smart. And look, I built this thing.
True.
But they wouldn't be like this doesn't prove you're from the future. I mean, because it's you didn't have material, so it's only I think knowing things no one could ever know, very specific random things that haven't happened.
True.
And would have to you'd have to be this and this and this, and if you just had that all written out and we're you know what, 4 months this happens, you tell me if I'm from the future or not.
Yeah,
we'll open this envelope together.
That'd be tough because I'm I mean, I'm a student of history, as you know, right? But the early 19th century, those details about months of when things happen, I don't think I would be able to call stuff like that. Maybe big events, but not enough. You know what I mean? In this example, I am a history professor. Oh, I see.
Or whatever. I'm just saying, if I had to prove it, just I personally cannot create a Charles Babbage counting machine or whatever. But
I see.
But I do have all my teeth, so I could be
teeth would be the big thing. And the
Or just,
fillings,
yeah,
right?
it's
Like,
not
oh,
even- it's more-
I have a crown. Show them the crown. They're like, what the hell's that? Why is it not wooden?
right, just
Like,
anything that's yeah.
It's like,
But yeah, but if your fillings went away, I think that's supposed to be like no, like show them here's my artificial heart, but that would.
how long have fillings been a thing? 100 years? It's been longer than we think. I think is what it is.
Right. Well, they just didn't use anesthetic or whatever, but they needed to. It's always been. I mean, before they just pulled it. Like that's just what they just every time they just would pull the tooth, and a lot of people
Right. That was the way.
just would have all their teeth pulled just in general, and then just have dentures or whatever.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, 19th century actually. People began using metals like silver, tin, and gold to fill cavities in.
Yeah.
Much longer
Those
than I
are
thought it
all-
would be.
Yeah, because those are all soft metals that can be
Mold them
made
into
into.
the cavity of the tooth. Yeah. So
For
filling would do
me,
it.
on a cupcake,
Yes,
uh,
yes.
you had
Third-
was
so
it
two-third-
36% icing?
36.7%. So that's approximately 2/3 cake, 1/3 icing.
Okay, so that the ratio is cake to okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, for me it would be 6-1. Like cake.
Oh wow.
Like,
oh, you
I
want
want
more
a
cake?
I
less
don't like
icing.
the icing.
I see. I see.
Yeah. A little
I
bit
see.
of like frosting on the
Yes,
top,
yes,
but
yes.
those cupcakes that have like that stack of like
Yes.
confectioner
No
sugar
go.
that's just, it's like
It's pure
'cause
sugar. I
it's-
know.
yeah, I just
sweet.
then it's like I'll eat cotton candy or something if I'm gonna do that. I'd rather
If I'm just gonna eat
'cause I
pour sugar,
bite
it's
into
like
it, it's like
pour sugar down your throat.
Exactly.
Yeah, fair. I respect your opinion.
I think to me the weirdest gift that I ever gave anybody
Yes.
was my virginity, because I wasn't doing anything with it, and I was super excited to give it away, and then I've successfully regifted it as well, like many times.
I
So,
remember that you do get reset.
it's
For
definitely-
those viewers who are unaware, if you don't have sex for a certain period of time, what's the period of time? 2 years, right? You regain your virginity.
Right.
Right.
There's a
Because your body
I mean,
has,
we all know there's a clock.
Right.
Everybody has forgotten.
and your
and
mind
it's
has
no
forgotten
longer-
the experience, right? So it's
Right.
years. We're kind of making that up, but it's
That's completely made up.
it's completely made up.
But my actually probably maybe mono. Gift that keeps on giving and giving.
Gave
Put ya-
mono. But yeah,
probably. It was weird. It was weird.
It is
They
weird.
got.
That's
I gave him
true.
herpes too. I'm sorry. Like
Oh,
I didn't know I had a
Jesus,
cold
dude,
sore.
come
It's
on.
like, I don't get cold sores. Actually, I do. I am herpes free. Thank
Okay, are you sure?
you. Yeah, absolutely.
Wait to flare up.
No. You want me to do this right now? You want to get in this right now?
We don't need to.
Are you being combative?
What was I gonna say? Yeah, mine was a cross, which was unusual because I'm, as before, very
a
non-religious.
cross.
Yeah, but it was a sentimental gift for someone, who was really,
Sure.
and they thought it
yeah,
was really
okay,
weird
yeah, I
coming
can-
from me, and I'm like, yeah, it is weird coming from me.
Right,
to
but
you, which is why.
it meant something to them.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. So there you go.
I don't know if I would be able to do it because no one.
It didn't burn me. I
Yeah,
thought it
couldn't
would.
do- Yeah, see, I know that it doesn't because all of that is ludicrous and silly.
I do too.
Both
But with-
sides.
But with that said, when we visited Rome 2 years ago, we went to Rome. We went to the Vatican, and before I stepped into the threshold, I did hesitate. And I'm like, okay, if anything's going to happen, it's here at this moment. This is the center of Christianity, right?
No, that's the center of Catholicism.
Fine. Catholicism was the original
No.
Christianity. Everything
But
branched from it.
Christians don't. But I'm saying, like, modern day Christians,
For
like
sure.
the evangelicals, don't count
Oh,
Catholics
no, that's
as
true.
part of. Yeah, it's
Especially
like-
when they
that's
don't
I'm
like
saying,
what the,
so, like,
especially when they don't like what the Pope has to say.
right,
Also, like,
exactly.
not my
So, like,
Pope.
right. Exactly. So like a lot of because just like in Catholicism, it's the idea was that it's like abortion is wrong, and that was always the thing. Yeah, abortion is
Right.
wrong. Catholics have always gotten abortions forever,
Yes.
and they've had to do it like basically in back alleys and everything,
Right.
or if you were rich, it's just always been able to be had
Right.
because if you're rich,
Because when you're rich,
can-
you can just make things happen.
yeah,
Absolutely.
but yeah, so yeah. I
anyway,
think that,
so if I didn't, my point was, if I didn't burn into flame in the Vatican, I just proved cool.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you're gonna pick something at random, like, I mean, like, what would happen if, like, I don't know, like, if like, we just dropped a giant water balloon on that big thing in Mecca, like that big cube thing, or whatever they've got going on, and everybody's going around in a circle. I look at that, I'm like, is that happening on the Earth? Like, on planet Earth, there is this rock that there are like thousands of people trekking through the desert, where like a portion of them die to go on the trek.
Yes.
That's I don't know where I was going with that. Other than that was
the absurdity of it.
crazy.
I mean, is worth bringing
up.
Oh,
No! In terms of like what, like, how, like, when would this all-powerful God really? When would His wrath show? Like like
right.
if like, what do I have to do?
Right.
Like,
right. Like, what has to be defaced? What has to be? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not saying don't take a shit on the rock, but I think we can drop a giant water balloon on it. It's funny. Just cover it in shaving cream.
There you go.
Hilarious. Just
Hilarious.
millions of tons of shaving cream dropped out of cargo planes. Hilarious. Parachutes. They go. Blah, blah. Oh my god. Everybody's covered in shaving cream. Oh my god. Oh, comic hilarity. They would love
there
it.
You go.
Totally would not cause a war. Oh god.
Totally would cause a war.
It
would totally cause a war. But
or,
not
yes,
from God.
it could,
not from God. I can pretty much guarantee you that.
Yeah, it's
he's not there.
because all of the religions, what got me as a kid was that all of the religions were just slight variations, and my question to my parents was always like, why is ours right? And it was like, because it is. And I was like, that's dumb. Like, that doesn't make sense. And like, if I'm gonna be like, that is, and so my whole life I always questioned in my head, does Dad really believe this? Like, I don't know. I still want to believe.
Well, that's habitual, right? This is what I was told to believe. It's why I believe my whole adult life. I just did it. It's ritual, right? It's like habit.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because
like the difference
in all
is
other
like,
respects.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we said, like Mormonism is way out there, right, from mainstream Christianity. But there are ones like Sunni and Shiite Muslims, right? It's like,
right.
You mean the only thing you disagree on is this, and you're killing each other, and you're literally killing each other because of this small thing.
Well, I mean,
it's like,
people have done it for less of just a little piece of land. I mean,
know.
for people who have the same people, just are entire civil wars over
And the fact that like you want to blow somebody's mind who's a little more ignorant than what did we call them earlier today? Low information.
Low information. Like, fucking imbeciles.
I just
but I think
like if you read your old
that's trademarked, by the way.
If you read your Old Testament, right? So it's like Abraham, and there was Isaac and Jacob, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Deuteronomy.
And the dissension of there became Judaism, and then the dissension of the other. And then, as we know, Christianity came from Judaism. Christians, hope that's not a major shock to you. Sit down if you need to accept that. Christianity spawned from Judaism.
Branch.
And Muslim.
Literally, their book in your book. Like, you can't not know
that's tough to break, right? And Islam was basically the other brother, right? But it's the same. They're both Abrahamic religions, right? Abraham was the guy who walked around and said, no, there isn't a God of the sun, a God of the earth, whatever. There's one God. And he was called the Abrahamic God, right? And then
because Rome, Greece, all of the powerful cultures of that time, the Egyptians all were deists. They all believed in multiple gods. That was and which is why religious war wasn't really a thing, because it was like, worship whatever gods you want, because they would just create them and whatever. So in Rome there wasn't like religious like prudery or any of that. There was nothing like an offense to the god. Like, there wasn't like, it's like if you offended the gods, like, they would take care of you. They didn't need the government to make rules to be like, oh yeah, you pissed off Zeus. Like, no, it's like
like you piss off Apollo and your crops wither that year or something. That's kind of what would happen, right? Because you make the right offering.
It was when
it's like
groups of people, when a group of we'll say elder Jews kind of established one set of religion, but then with Christianity and Christianity really took off, and headed up to Europe and just
Hasn't
fucked
stopped.
that all to hell
Still running.
for a long time.
Still going.
No. Well, Europe is running away from it. We caught it over here. So like, if you go to Europe, Europe is way less religious than it used to be.
Yeah.
And I mean, places like Norway is like 80% atheist. Like there's very little organized religion in the Nordic countries, which again, why they are the most happy. Why are the Nordic countries the most happy?
Yeah.
All of them, the majority of the people are like, yeah, no, it's not a god.
We don't have to worry about that shit.
It's
like,
yeah, let's just, everyone should have healthcare and a snowboard.
And help each other, right? And there you go, done.
Like,
all it's crazy.
Here, put together some furniture.
But it's just amazing that it's like, the three major religions in the world, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, same God. It's literally the same God.
You'd think he would have stepped in by now and said something other than in the form of toast, or a statue bleeding,
or a pancake, perhaps a pancake,
a person being saved from
Speaking of which, conspiracy theories, I think was one of the things you asked about, right?
The conspiracy theory, honestly, is we all live in a simulation. For sometimes
Possible.
I am like, this is that. It's like
can't
things
be real.
are so freaking weird that
Yeah.
it's like, no,
Someone's fucking with us.
This can't be real life. Like, I feel like David at the dentist.
Isn't your
Like,
simulation owner then God?
Yes, I'm saying I believe in the conspiracy theory. That would be like, in some cases, yes, it wouldn't be God. It would be like a evil overlord. Not I don't all of a sudden believe in a supernatural. No, but they wouldn't be supernatural. If we're in a simulation, that simulation is created by another sentient.
Right, but
it's not a god.
If we're in a simulation created by some kind of operator stuff, they can literally change reality by hitting buttons. That's God. You know what I mean? For all intents and purposes. Doesn't have to be magic wandy stuff, right?
But at that point, it's natural. Like, if it's natural for them, then in the universe, it is a natural thing that happens. It is not supernatural. It is not something that is coming from an outside perspective. If it can be explained through mathematics and all that, which I believe everything ultimately can,
sure.
Which is why I'm sorry, there's never going to be hyperspace-enabled space whales. Never going to happen.
You're very upset about that.
Sorry. Even in galaxies far, far away,
yes.
No way.
Speaking of which, that was my
space whales.
That was my conspiracy theory thing. Is that I swore when I was a child and saw Star Wars 4: A New Hope for the first time, I saw a scene of Skywalker talking to his friend Biggs Darklighter. I saw it in the theater. I swear I did. And then the conspiracy theory is no. That scene was cut. It was never in any theatrical release ever. It never saw the light of day. Right. And then later when I saw stills of it, because somebody got the images, and I'm like, yeah, that's the scene I saw. It was obvious to me. One. Bullshit.
I know that scene. I know what the frame almost that you're talking about. But like, I never saw it. But I've seen a picture of what it supposedly is.
Right.
But because I was not really old enough to really conceive of Star Wars very well.
Yes.
When it came out.
Right.
I had to. It wasn't until The Empire Strikes Back that I was, being taken to the theater and stuff. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, and now for most people, like, they will never. If you think about kids today, like, unless you have it somewhere, like in an archive, it's Jabba the Hutt. Like Jabba the Hutt in that stand-in where the CGI Jabba the Hutt, which before in the original one it was just a guy.
Right.
And so that scene of like, he was like a big guy that he's having a conversation with, that is gone.
Right.
Like, you can't. It's like anything
I've
you
seen
buy,
that scene.
purchase,
you can get that scene now. You can find it on YouTube. Somebody's put it up there.
Okay. Then then someone must have uploaded it.
Because that was the scene
that's basically.
And I don't know if Lucasfilm did it, but basically what they in one of the many remasters they did, they put that scene back in and CGI'd Slug Jabba on top of that dude.
No, they did that. That was in 1997 re-releases.
Right.
That was when they were like, it was in anticipation, 1999, they were going to come out with Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace, right.
1997, we're redoing. It went really well for them, actually. Like, that's in terms of like for the old Star Wars fans, we were like, oh, that sucked. But
what just happened?
You know, yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, sure, our childhoods were ruined, but
Right.
you know,
In one day.
is it today? You
In
know,
one day.
they like it. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we can be so easily crushed.
Oh my god.
That's sad.
But it's amazing how the sequels made it like, oh, okay, maybe it wasn't that bad. I mean, it still was. But like, the sequels were just so bad.
But now, what I find interesting is that the sequels have developed like a cult following almost now, that like, or almost that I've definitely heard the thing of like, remember when we hated the sequels? They're actually okay. And it's like, are they? And there's a certain group of fandom that's like, actually, they're better than we thought they were. And it's like, do you? So
The
there's
prequels
definitely
were better than we thought they were.
that's what I'm talking about. Prequels.
Oh.
That's no.
You said
No one
sequels.
thinks that
You would have said sequels.
Oh, the sequels. Oh, yeah. You have the people that are either like The Last Jedi ruined their life,
Yes.
or The Last Jedi was fresh and new and great and awesome,
Yes.
and it was so cool to see like new and fresh things in Star Wars. So people on both sides of that are just like passionate of like new things, new
It's a holy
direction, new
war there.
director. What the hell are you doing with the Force? How is Leia just like floating through? Oh, she has the it's like you just invented shit. That sucks.
Made shit up. That's where you go to the
so
what
I can
you call
sort
the
of-
guy who does the pitch meeting. He sums it up pretty
Right.
well.
Well, I mean, because if you watch all three movies, you've essentially it's like, well, they just remade Star Wars,
Yep.
or The Force Awakens. Then The Last Jedi was just Rian Johnson did his whole crazy own thing, and then for the last one, they were like, let's bring back the old people again. So Palpatine's alive, yeah. And you know, he didn't falling down that like
Right.
just like
Which, by the way, invalidated
let's-
the
let's
entire
be the-
original trilogy. Him being
Absolutely.
alive, because they fought for nothing.
Yep.
They literally fought for nothing. Right.
It was all for nothing. Yeah, they wiped away all of the stakes of the original, like
And
all
the
of
prequels.
everything.
And the prequels.
And yeah, literally everything that happened before doesn't matter.
From a couple dumbasses in a writing room. That would
mean,
be a
I
great
guess.
idea.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah, well, I never understood the canon thing, so I think half of it contradicts itself. But
yeah, it does. They don't, because they don't want people to keep a track of it, so they're just like, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Darth,
Yeah, there's been a
Darth
lot of, like,
Plagueis the Wise, you know. Oh.
the politics over the acolyte of the
Very
because it didn't get
strong.
renewed.
Yeah.
Like,
Very strong.
and it's like, and it
You and I
is-
have talked about this. It's like, and
There's a-
we're, I think everyone's got the vibe from us, right? Like, we're very, like, progressively minded for the most part on many different topics, right? But, like, there's the calls of, like, the female washing, the gender washing, the sexuality washing. No, it was just not good. Like, that's literally why it didn't get renewed. Like, maybe there was
There are
fans-
three like fandoms on the web, because there's the people that are like probably would never have watched Star Wars, but they're watching it because it's like, oh my god, I love Star Wars now because they've got, and because they like Leslie Headland, whatever. Fine. So people who love the Acolyte for that. There are people who don't like it, who weren't even going to give it a chance at all because
a black
of
woman.
because of a black woman stuff. Yes, those horrible toxic people are
Right.
out there.
Yes.
Unfortunately, what the Disney decided to do was use that as a cudgel and supported basically anybody who said it was bad.
Right.
It was because she was black, and because it's like I didn't even know, like I wasn't even aware of the country. I just watched a terrible show.
Yes.
I love Star Wars, and I was like, this is awful.
Yeah.
I was not looking at like, oh, the guy was of Asian descent. Like, what the hell? There's two
Cares?
twin girls. They're witches.
Cares?
None of in a million
Lesbian
years,
witch
none of
cult.
that mattered.
Who cares?
I just watched something that was written by an idiot.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Pretty
it was
much.
someone that clearly hired their spouse to play a lead character.
Hey,
It was
wait.
just, yeah. I mean, everything about it. I mean, just you could literally, they took the easy choice for everyone, so there was nothing you could really predict. It was just like, oh, if it's got to be him. Oh, yeah, it was him.
It's him,
Like,
obviously.
and we'll just wait until we get to the very end, and it's like, oh no, nothing. Yeah, it was all just
Nothing
ridiculous.
tied up, just done.
Nothing tied up.
Just absurdity,
And-
right?
And so
And everyone
there is a
died
section
that
on the
didn't need to
web,
die for no. They died for no reason. Everyone who died.
but there's a
It's
section where they're like,
literally no reason.
You're toxic.
Yeah.
Because
I know.
no, that's not why you don't
And-
like it. And it's
and-
like, no, it's so bad.
It was just bad.
It's like, no, it was review bombed. Because it was bad. Yeah, I'm sure there are some people that rated it bad because they
and probably a lot
before they even
to be
watched
fair,
it,
which
but-
is fine.
Oh, I gave it a chance. I watched
I gave it a fair
every
chance.
freaking episode, and I suffered through it.
I was waiting for
And,
it to wrap up. Hey, by the way,
I was
thought
so glad it didn't get renewed.
Obi-Wan also bad.
Not as bad as
Not as bad as the Acolyte.
Bad.
Yes, agreed.
Um,
And Obi-Wan started
Book of
off
Boba
so
Fett?
good. It was so good when it started, Obi-Wan. I was like, yes, this is what they need to do. Then it just fucking dived right off a cliff, and I'm, God damn.
That's some good-
Take some
that's some
writing
good, like-
classes. Like, for fuck's sake, learn how to wrap up
Yeah.
a story. It's like, it's not rocket science.
Just perhaps talk to the writers of Andor.
Fantastic job.
They can help you. Tony
Put them
Gilroy.
in the room. Yes, put them back in
Yeah.
the room and have them consult.
Like,
That's
I'm
what
gonna
you
do my
need,
thing. Okay, go.
Oh my god. Seriously. What'd you ask me about? Oh, Book of Boba Fett?
Yeah.
I didn't hate on it. Because the thing is, like, the
I was
lore...
completely indifferent.
Yeah,
I watched
guess me
it
too.
like I was watching a documentary. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, so
'cause
this is what
the-
Boba Fett was up
The
to.
lore of the legend of Boba Fett grew beyond his role, right? Because when people first saw him, it was like, oh, he's a badass. And I'm back, and they made up all this
Right.
stuff about him, right? And then
Right.
when it seemed like they wussified him by him coming to a reflection point, like in the Book of Boba Fett series, you know what I mean? Kind of like a rebirth and a redemption arc, you know what I mean? They were like, oh,
Right.
they made him a what? And I'm like, why is this out of the question based on what we've seen of him in the movie? Why could he not have a redemption
Oh,
arc?
was that even
right?
a problem?
Yeah, that's why people complained. They made him wussy.
In this universe, there are bounty hunters, and that's a thing. And so, having a conflicted bounty hunter
Right.
is a perfectly normal story to have in a universe
Totally.
that has bounty hunters in it,
Totally.
and have ones, and it's a lucrative career at the same time. Particularly sketchy. So, yeah, excellent.
Anyway.
I'm not sure what question we're answering now.
We're
but,
no longer asking questions. This came from the big
yes, yes.
scene being the conspiracy
Yes.
theory that
Yes.
was real. But we're done for this week. So
Yes,
I think
we are
we've done
for
the
this
right
week.
thing. So is it like get out of Utah?
Yeah, always just standard
Yeah.
apply. Get out of Utah.
Yeah.
If your wife is
Stay with your wife.
No matter what, if your baby's being born, be there with your baby.
Be there
being
with your
born.
baby. and be- right.
You don't even need like medical complications necessary. It just in general doesn't matter.
Right.
Just
A-
you gotta.
A chick who totally. A chick who
Important.
gives you doesn't give you her number, isn't into you. Don't take offense. Just
And it
Keep
doesn't necessarily mean that she's not into you. It's giving her the option to.
Yes.
So it just means that you have to work for it.
yes, exactly.
It means it's not like a trick to just make you go away. I mean, I could
Right.
be, but it can also be an opportunity. So
Right. And I think we decided
No.
if grandma wants to give you money, let her. Final
pay
wrap
off
up.
your student debt, absolutely, because in no spirit, in the giant world of like cosmic karma, if there ever was such a thing, no one can give me the argument that it's better for fairness that a bunch of banks get an extra $70,000
Right.
so that her brother doesn't feel bad.
Right. I agree with that.
It's just
You're
it's
talking
so
into it.
ludicrous that I'm like I can't.
You can't even- right. No, I know. You're
I
right.
just-
It's
nope.
Like,
The math on that one just doesn't work.
and Denise, like I said, just find a way to pay it forward, and your karma bank will be equalized. Trust me. You know, you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, all right. Well, with that
Um,
said, we're gonna
we
sign
have.
off. So I think we did good
We
things.
will see you here.
Well, we're gonna be here what time? Like 9:30 p.m. Eastern
9:30?
US time next.
Yep.
Okay.
Tuesday. Tuesday it is. Yeah. Same day of the week.
Let me get the date. That would be October 1st. Where has the
Yes,
year
it is
gone?
the 24th.
Where has the year
It is.
gone?
It's gone fast, yet it's gone so slow. And
In
I
many
just
ways,
wish
yes.
this election could come and be done, and we could just, I could stop I could stop having my neighbors identify their racism
Yes.
on their front yards.
Yes.
Like that, it really troubles me to be like, oh, racist bigot asshole. Racist bigot asshole. Ah.
Right.
Lawnmower guy is now racist bigot
Bigot
asshole
asshole.
because he's got a giant Trump flag he put on his house. Who does that? Like it's not even like, oh, I like this person
No, no,
campaign
no.
sign.
It's
We're
when you're
talking
making-
fucking flags.
You're literally
When
making
you're
a
making
right.
flags.
That's
You're
beyond
making a
support.
statement.
It's beyond supporting a candidate. It's making a statement. Exactly.
Yes.
That's our problem
Yes,
with it.
it's making a statement to be like,
100%.
I am
Right.
terrible.
Fuck all
like, I
y'all.
do not believe.
Right.
Yeah. I believe in forced birth.
Middle fingers
I
to all
am
of
a
you.
monster.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which is
All right.
strange.
Yes, there you go. All right.
Yeah,
So
fuck you, lady in your garden.
we'll catch you next week. Well, except for you, lady in the garden. For everyone else,
Yeah.
submit your questions because we
Yeah.
want to help you. That's why we're here. So
I'm not helping you, lady in the garden.
Except you. I mean, if she
Help
submits a
yourself.
question, I'll answer it. Depends on what it is. But
I can answer it.
all right, that's fine. Until then, we'll see you
She
next
knows well.
week. And remember, we are here to help. So
Here
good
to help.
night,
Good night.
everybody. Bye. Thanks for coming by. Bye.
You don't have to keep.
And we're off. And me, 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 me. Me, me, me. Do you watch any Key and Peele?
No,
Watching YouTube?
I don't watch almost any TV. Really,
No,
like
so I mean, they did special on Comedy Central, but all their skits are on YouTube. Grab Brendan.
oh yeah,
They done a lot of funny shit. It's
I've seen some, but not there's definitely some really funny ones. I haven't it's just been a while since, because like even like the time that I spend on YouTube is really like a lot of times they're normally like breakdowns of things, or
For
like
sure.
okay, what the fuck just happened in this thing, like I did try out like Marvel's Agatha All Along.
Oh, how
which
was
is
it? I didn't see
Another
it yet.
thing. Well, it's the exact same thing. So this is a new situation. This is Disney still the main company, but different franchise.
Yes.
So this is now they're calling it the gayest Marvel project ever,
Oh, okay.
because it's a coven of witches, and the dude, the guy who basically breaks Agatha out of Wanda's spell to like start the whole series,
Yeah.
is a gay man who's like this young, basically like guy who's like a young Wiccan. Like it's like
Oh, I
kind of
see.
just like, I totally want to be a Wiccan, like whatever. But he's
Okay.
he's a young, flamboyantly gay man.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious, great character, absolutely fantastic character. And then there's this like coven of witches, and they will make jokes about being like, oh well, she's really attractive or whatever, because women finding other women attractive is
Yeah.
terrible. So yeah, there's a lot of like, it's the gayest show, and it's been like, and so they did try to review Bomb It. Who was this made for? Like the Critical Drinker and those guys
Yeah.
that just